Hey everyone. Seems like a lot of you are really into African music these days.
Yeah.
And with the Grammys coming up, it's the perfect time to dive into it. I mean, it's been amazing to see how much global attention it's getting.
Yeah, it really
It
has.
feels like every year there are more and more talented artists from Africa getting recognized.
Absolutely.
And, you guys have sent us a ton of information about potential Grammy winners.
Right.
So we're going to try and break down who to watch out for and why this all matters.
It's really fascinating to see how African music is kind of weaving itself into the global music scene, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not just one genre, it's really a mix of different sounds and influences, from all over the continent.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's captivating audiences worldwide.
Absolutely. So, welcome to AI Podcast Nigeria.
Welcome to AI Podcast Nigeria.
If you're looking for a fresh perspective on Nigeria, a chance to really dive deep into its culture and its people,
And maybe get hungry along the way.
definitely get hungry.
Mm.
I highly recommend checking out Podcast Nigeria. I think you'd be surprised and inspired by what you hear.
And maybe, just maybe, it'll make you want to book a flight to Lagos.
Huh. Maybe so.
All right.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey everyone, welcome back. The Grammy veterans who have already made a big impact on the international scene.
Yeah, the heavy hitters.
Yeah. So we've got people like Burna Boy, who already has a Grammy. What makes him such a strong contender this year?
Well, Burna Boy, he's really a master of pushing those boundaries of Afrobeats. When we're talking Afrobeats, we're talking about a genre that blends West African rhythms
Right.
with some global influences as well, like hip hop and R&B. So it's super diverse. It's always evolving.
Okay. So with his new album, how does he build upon what he's done in the past?
Well, his latest album is really interesting because he goes deeper into social commentary. He tackles themes of love, politics, and everything in between.
Yeah, so it's not just party music.
Exactly. And even sonically, he's experimenting too, He's incorporating elements of jazz, even reggae, and it just adds this whole other dimension to his music.
Okay, so he's not just sticking to one formula. He's actively trying to, push the genre forward.
Absolutely. Which I think, Grammy voters, they see that.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference. So what about Wizkid?
Ooh, Wizkid.
He's been called the king of Afrobeats.
For a reason.
For a reason. What are some of the things that he's done, collaborations, that really solidify his influence on the global stage?
Well, you have to start with that collaboration with Drake back in 2016. One Dance. That was a pivotal moment for Afrobeat.
Huge. Yeah.
Because it was one of the first Afrobeats tracks to top the global charts.
Yeah.
It introduced the genre to this massive audience.
So it opened the doors for a lot of other artists as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And since then, he's consistently collaborated with international artists, and it really solidifies Afrobeat's place in the mainstream.
Okay, so, Tems, I know that you mentioned in your notes you're a huge fan of her vocals.
Oh, I love her.
What is it about her voice that's so captivating?
It's this incredibly rich and soulful voice that she has, and it just draws you in instantly.
Yeah.
But what I find really interesting about her is how she blends her Afrobeats roots with these elements of R&B and even alternative music, and so she's got this versatility, which we see, for example, in her collaboration with Drake on Fountains.
Right. And of course, she was on Beyoncé's Renaissance album as well.
Which earned her a Grammy last year.
I mean, wow. She's really made her mark.
She has.
So what about Rema? His track Calm Down was everywhere last year. Could we see him breaking into more of those pop-focused Grammy categories?
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Really?
His music has this youthful energy, this global appeal that just transcends categories.
Yeah.
And Calm Down is a perfect example. It blends Afro beats with elements of pop, Latin music. So it's creating this sound that really resonates with a really wide audience.
Okay.
So yeah, he's definitely one to watch.
And then, of course, you can't forget Angélique Kidjo. She's a legend.
Oh, yeah.
In world music with multiple Grammys to her name already. What can you tell us about her impact and her influence?
She's a pioneer, really.
Yeah.
You know, she's been doing this for decades. She's been fusing traditional Beninese music with genres like jazz, funk, pop.
Wow.
And so she's creating this sound that is, you know, deeply rooted in her heritage, but also globally accessible.
Yeah.
And she's also a powerful advocate.
Right.
You know, for social justice, women's rights. She uses her music to amplify important messages.
Okay. So we talked about some of the big names, but what about some of the rising stars?
Oh, this is what's exciting. This is, you know,
Yeah.
there's a whole new wave of talent.
Who are pushing the boundaries, bringing fresh sounds. Who are some of the people that you're most excited about?
Well, I mean, you got to start with a sock.
Okay.
His recent album has been incredibly successful.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot about that.
Yeah, he's bringing a whole new sound to Afro beats.
Okay. What sets him apart? Could this be his year for like a first-time Grammy nom?
I think it could be. You know, his music has this raw energy that is infectious.
Okay.
He's blending traditional Yoruba rhythms with these fast-paced beats, and it's creating a sound that's both familiar and fresh at the same time.
Okay, so familiar in terms of the rhythms and then fresh in terms of
The production, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's also got this unique vocal style that's really captivating listeners.
Okay, cool. What about Sam for the Great? Oh, Sam for the Great.
You mentioned that she's all about pushing boundaries and challenging expectations. How so?
Well, she's a Zambian-born artist, but she's based in Australia.
Okay.
And her music, it's this beautiful blend of hip-hop, soul, and African rhythms.
Okay.
And her lyrics, oh, they're thought-provoking.
Okay.
They're powerful. She tackles themes of identity, social justice,
Yeah.
you know, the African diaspora. It's really resonating with people.
Wow. And Black Sharif.
Yeah,
You were saying that his music has this like raw authenticity that's capturing hearts worldwide.
it really is.
You talked about his blend of Ghanaian high life and contemporary sounds.
Mhm.
What exactly is Ghanaian high life?
So Ghanaian high life emerged in the 1950s.
Okay.
And it's this really beautiful blend of indigenous Ghanaian rhythms
Okay.
with influences from jazz and guitar music.
Huh.
So, you know, you get these upbeat, danceable rhythms, often featuring horns, guitars.
Okay.
And what Black Sharif does, he takes the essence of high life
Right.
and he fuses it with trap beats and these modern production techniques.
Okay.
So it's this really unique sound that's gaining traction.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's interesting to see how, all these artists are drawing from their heritage,
Yeah.
but also pushing music forward in these like really exciting new directions. And I think it's not just individual artists either.
No, it's not.
Collaborations play a huge role in bridging cultures and exposing, wider audiences to different African sounds.
Absolutely.
What are some of the collaborations that really like stand out to you?
Well, I mean, you have to look at Beyonce's Lion King, the Gift album,
Yeah.
which featured, a ton of African artists. Burna Boy, Kid, Mr. Easy. Yeah.
It was this celebration of African music and culture.
Yeah, it was a huge moment, for sure.
And it reached such a massive audience.
Yeah. And then what about Ed Sheeran's collaboration with Fireboy DML?
Yes. The Peru remix. That was a massive hit. And it helped introduce Amapiano
Amapiano.
to a wider audience,
Yeah.
which is a South African house music genre.
Yeah. And what is Amapiano like characterized by? What are some of the key elements of the sound?
So it's got these really jazzy piano melodies, deep bass lines, and soulful vocals.
Okay.
It's been gaining popularity all over the world.
Cool.
Yeah, and collaborations like that are just further amplifying it.
Okay. So let's get to Grammy predictions.
Okay.
With all this incredible talent, who do you think has the best shot in categories like Best Global Music Album and Best Global Music Performance?
Well, I mean, just based on the buzz around their albums and their impact on the scene, I think Burna Boy and Kid.
Yeah, makes sense. They're strong contenders. But you can't underestimate Tems and Angélique Kidjo either.
Right.
Tems has that fresh energy, that genre-bending appeal. And Angélique Kidjo, I mean, her legacy, her artistry, it speaks for itself.
Could we see any surprises? You think any of these artists could win awards outside of the global music categories?
Oh, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. As African music becomes more ingrained in the global landscape, we could see artists like Rema or Tems
Right.
breaking through in those pop or R&B categories.
Wow.
That would be a real testament
Yeah.
to how far African music has come.
So regardless of who takes home the awards this year, It's clear that African music is shaping the future of music on a global scale. It's about more than just awards, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What does this rising popularity tell us about the future of global culture?
I think it signifies a shift towards inclusivity and diversity in global culture.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of music to transcend borders, connect people from different backgrounds.
Right. And it feels like we're seeing this world where, different cultures are blending and influencing each other
Exactly.
in these new and exciting ways. And music is at the forefront.
For sure.
So beyond the catchy tunes, the danceable rhythms, there's this deeper story unfolding.
Absolutely.
One that speaks to the interconnectedness of the world and the power of, cultural exchange.
Absolutely.
So keep exploring this vibrant world of music.
Yes.
You never know what you might find.
You never know.
That's it for this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.